Now, this week marks the 6th annual Tardive Dyskinesia Awareness Week. Now, tardive dyskinesia, also known as TD, is an involuntary movement disorder. It's associated with taking certain mental health medicines that treat bipolar disorder, depression, schizophrenia, and more. The condition can make something as simple as holding a cup of coffee or even driving to work a challenge. Here with us this morning, Dr. Gus Alva and Linda Mims, Vice Chair of the Schizophrenia and Psychosis Action Alliance. Good morning to you both. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
We have a little bit of a delay, so we'll try to get these questions to you as accurate as possible. Now, why do you think Tardive Dyskinesia Awareness Week, also known as TD, is important?
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and this is the best time to talk about tardive dyskinesia, as it can result from the prolonged use of antipsychotics to control neurological brain illnesses like schizophrenia. And one of the most important points that I want to make is that if you're out there and you're starting to experience TD, you are not alone. This is not an uncommon disorder.
Now, doctor, let's get this question to you. What is TD, and can you describe some of the symptoms?
Yeah, you bet. Of course I can. Tardive dyskinesia is an involuntary movement problem. By the way, we're not here to discourage people from taking their medications. Medications can be life-saving. 1 out of 5 individuals in the U.S. are affected by mental illness, and they need medications. But certain medicines can cause certain side effects. Among those side effects could be the possibility of movement problems. It's very important for people to distinguish the movement problem that's occurring. Tardive dyskinesia can look like having repetitive, involuntary, spastic, jerky movements that are unwanted, that the individual doesn't have control over, that might have a great degree of impact emotionally, physically, and socially for the individual. So when in doubt, it's not a bad idea to seek out medical advice.
Can you describe some of the symptoms?
Absolutely. These movements oftentimes occur around the face, where people are smacking their lips, or maybe their tongue's thrusting out, or they're blinking excessively. Movements can occur in any part of the body. And that's why it's important right now to address the fact that I'm thankful that Neurocrine is sponsoring us to be here right now, to be able to talk more about this. When in doubt, it's nice to have resources. There's a great resource online called talkabouttd.com, where people can get more information about this, and as a consequence of that, figure out how to get aid. Because keep in mind, although about 600,000 people are affected by tardive dyskinesia right now, about 70% have not been diagnosed, which means that this is a condition that can be highly disabling even when people have mild symptomatology.
Dr. Alva, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. We'll have this interview on our website as well, fox2now.com. Let's go over to Amelia for a look at traffic.